We will open this regular meeting of the Town Council on August 12th with a pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And would everybody kindly remain standing for a moment of silence for the late Gerald Ledoux. Thank you very much. Town Clerk, would you kindly call the roll, please?
Councilor Edwards.
Here.
Councilor Ruda. Present. Councilor Medeiros.
Here.
Councilor Durfee.
Here.
Councilor Carroll.
Here.
Councilor Costa.
Here.
Councilor Boland. All present.
And Mr. Boland, would you kindly do what you do best?
Tonight-
Or what are the things you do best?
Tonight's consent agenda consists of the following. Approval of the regular council minutes meeting of June 23rd, 2008. Approval of the regular council meeting minutes July 14th, 2008. Receipt of minutes from the following boards and commissions: Harbor and Coastal Waters Commission, Library Board of Trustees, Wastewater Management Commission, Historical Cemetery Commission, Arts Council, Recycling Committee, Landfill Subcommittee, and Zoning Board of Review. Correspondence received and filed, received from Summerfield Condo Association regarding snowplow removal request, referred to Town Administrator, DPW Director, with a copy to the Street Committee. Received from Weaver Cove Energy LLC monthly status report available in Town Clerk's office. Received from Tiverton Open Space and Land Preservation Commission annual report for 2007-2008 year and list of goals, and the approval of the tax assessor abatements.
Are there any changes to those proposals?
Madam President, I'd like to have removed items C2E and CA3B. Both will be very brief.
Motion to approve the consent agenda with minus those two items.
Second.
All those in favor of that motion, raise your right hand, please. Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Edwards?
On the Wastewater Management Commission meeting minutes, I just had a couple questions. I don't see anyone here who can help. But they, on the second page, under sewer projects, number 3, item C, they talked about the Ponta Club pump station, how they were splitting the electrical for that pump station with the Ponta. I just want to know if we'd successfully split it off and what the status was on that. And they also talked under item 4 about long-range planning workshop with town council. I want to know when they were thinking about doing that.
I will check on the status with the electrical, and I will also get back to you regarding that meeting. They're preparing for it. I'm just not sure when it'll be complete preparation.
Okay. It'd be nice if we could prepare too.
All righty.
Motion to receive it.
Yeah, make a motion to receive that item.
Second.
All those in favor of that motion, raise your right hand, please. Motion carries.
And for the clerk, on item A3B, the information from Weaver's Cove Energy, have we received anything more current than this? Are they planning any more meetings on this particular issue?
We received that August 4th.
Yeah, and this is
and I
a
have
couple months old.
Just a copy of it. I just didn't think everybody would need a copy of it, but I can certainly make you a copy.
No, we got.
August 4th of 2008.
Yeah, we got the package, and I'm asking if they sent any further meetings concerning Weaver's Cove. Have we been notified?
I haven't received anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a reference made in this document that these reports are issued monthly. I wondered if we got a monthly report?
I haven't, this was new to me on getting this, but maybe I have filed them somewhere, I will check. But this was the first time I saw that, and I did notice that it said the monthly report. I will check into them, I'll try and see if there's, or if I can obtain prior months.
Okay. I'd make a motion that we accept this as received.
Second?
All those in favor, raise your right hand, please. Motion carries unanimously. We will move now to 3 public hearings. They have been advertised. I'll open the first in connection with Storty's Sunrise Cafe. They have requested approval of a BVL license. Is there anybody who wishes to be heard on that matter? Is Mr. or the proprietor here who wishes to say anything? Chief?
Madam President, members of the council, a background check was done on the applicants, and there were no reason to reject that request.
Okay, thank you.
Are you prepared to close the public hearing, take a vote?
Yes. That's your motion to close the public hearing?
Move to close the public hearing and to grant a license subject to meeting all legal requirements.
Second.
Okay, it's double motion. All those in favor of Mr. Boland's motion, raise your right hand, please. Motion carries unanimously. We will move to the next public hearing. It's MC and Sons Excavating. Request approval of a street excavator's license. I will open the public hearing. Is there anybody who wishes to be heard on that matter?
It's not an advertisement.
That's not a public hearing. I move
That should
we-
be a Board of Licensing
That's a
Commission.
Board of Licenses, Madam President. And make a motion to approve meeting all legal requirements.
Second.
Mayor, on the question for our solicitor, there's a copy of a certificate of liability insurance attached to this item. I don't know if you received it or not. But there's a block in the corner that concerns me because the town of Tiverton is the certificate holder, and it says, "This certificate is issued as a matter of information only and confers no rights upon the certificate holder. The certificate does not amend, extend, or alter the coverage afforded by the policies that this guy has."
That's a pretty normal paragraph you see in all these certificates. I mean, I get them all the time for subcontractors. That's normally on them.
Okay, what
You're
does it
also-
mean?
As being a
What does it
certificate
mean?
holder,
Does it
all
mean
you
this
are
certificate
is you're a certificate holder, you're named, and when the insurance expires, you are notified.
Yeah, the specific language where they've added us as an additional insured supersedes that block language, if you will.
Okay.
What they are saying, it doesn't change the policy. If the guy's only got a policy for $100, it doesn't change it at all. But they are telling us what his policy limits are. That again supersedes it, and we're specifically listed, so.
Very good, sir, thank you.
Okay, we'll come, no, we haven't taken a vote on that. Motion made and seconded. All those in favor of that motion, raise your right hand, please. Motion carries unanimously. Okay, now we will move to the next series of appointments.
No,
Camara.
Camara
Oh,
Excavating.
wait a minute, Camara
Motion
Excavating.
to approve, subject to meeting, both A and B, motion to approve, subject to meeting all legal requirements.
Second.
All those, any further discussion? All those in favor of that motion, raise your right hand. Motion carries unanimously. Now we'll come to the town clerk with a series of appointments.
Madam President, I've just continued to keep taking them in groups. There will be one more meeting necessary to complete all the appointments.
Okay. I think we could do this with one motion.
Yes, ma'am, I would suggest that we can. I reviewed all of these applications and their addenda, and it's very impressive. I would make a motion to reappoint all those who have requested it. And in recreation, I guess we're filling 2 vacancies. I would include that in that motion.
Well, I just want to make sure the minutes will be...
That we accept the Harbor and Coastal Wastewater Management, the 3 spots, the 3 spots for Open Space Commission, the 1 spot for Recycling Committee, the 1 spot for Redevelopment Agency, The appointment for the Economic Development Committee, one person, and 2 people for the Recreation Commission. Correct, Hannibal?
Yes, sir, thank you.
Now, I will second that.
Okay, can I just raise one thing that Brian Maderas hasn't already? As to the first grouping, we have interviewed, right? And these are reappointments. The second grouping, we have not met with those people. I thought Brian was going to raise it.
I would accept, I'm not sure what the policy is right now, and I'm not going to open that can of
Okay,
worms
fine.
again.
Well,
so-
I'll take it all back then. So, motion has been made, I'll say by Mr. Costa and seconded by Mr. Edwards. And all those in favor of that motion, raise your right hand, please. Motion carries unanimously. Coming along to Councilor Maderas. This was a matter that had been discussed at our July 14th meeting, and we deferred it to this date, our first meeting in August.
Thank you. This is a follow-up to the report that Chris Spencer, the town planner, had put together for us on wind power and some of the possible avenues. And this, I put this on tonight so that we can have a discussion just in terms of whether we are going to continue going forward. It's obviously my hope that we do, and if we do, in what form, whether the next step, either to put together some type of an ad hoc committee, or whether it's simply to ask the planner to continue his work in terms of getting information, gathering information, presenting it to the council with the goal of, at some point later this year, having some hard numbers together that the council can at least consider whether they want to continue going forward with it.
I noticed the planner's suggestion is to form, I don't know if it's a suggestion, but it's at least labeled next steps, form committee to study wind power. Chris, do you want to comment on whether we go forward?
Well, I think when I did the report, that was, the net metering had just passed, and I think, given that and some of the stuff that's been done in Portsmouth, I think I could probably get something together and look at the private side and look at doing that and get somebody to come in and give a presentation to the council on that. And that might be the easier route for the council to take, and that probably be quicker than putting together a committee and waiting for all that. And at least you can get the information and get some of the numbers together from that. So I'd be willing to take that on.
Okay,
That would be my preference.
all righty.
All right.
Then perhaps we would entertain a motion to the effect that you be assigned the task to take the next steps with regard to developing information for the council and working with the administrator and whatever other town staff that you wish to work with.
Sure. So moved.
Second.
Through the administrator.
Yes. All those in favor of that motion, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Mr. Edwards.
Yes, I've had the pleasure of serving on the landfill subcommittee for some months now, and I actually recently attended the recycling committee's meeting and found, at the invitation of Mr. Rise, and found that both committees are basically working on the same issues, namely trying to take possession of our own recycling, increasing recycling for the town, all to increase the life of the landfill. And at the suggestion of the recycling committee last month, I thought we might possibly want to combine the efforts of both committees.
Seemed like a very nice idea. Mr. Rice, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, when we spoke at last meeting, we had a lot of issues that were very compatible. The committee's been looking at making changes to operations of the landfill. We're only put together as a committee to educate people on recycling. Our charter wasn't really to go out there and make changes to the landfill. So we wanted to try to change our focus of the committee and see if we can maybe make some more proposals to the way we operate the landfill, possibly, we have a lot of issues with the way we dispose of tires, TVs, things like that nature that we basically just bury up there right now. We need to make changes as soon as possible. So,
And it seemed like the recycling committee really has the forefront with, the public end. I mean, they've been very good with educating people in town as to, where they can, what they can recycle, how they can recycle it. And the landfill subcommittee is more on the technical end as far as what they want to have done at the landfill. And it just made a lot of sense to me that they bring both ends together.
Yeah, does make sense.
we plan on bringing some proposals before the council, probably within a month or so, for your approval. Whether the committee can get together, I'm not sure, because I know Jay probably will be moving on.
We're going to keep him right on that landfill.
He's not
And I-
leaving the town.
He is
Isn't there going to be a new
not
charter law about that?
No,
Not that,
not that.
So I'm not quite sure how
yes.
the subcommittee will work out with a new council coming on board, but we hope probably by that time, maybe we could put something together where we could be combined, or, I don't know.
I don't know, it sounds like a great idea to me.
Yeah, it does.
I have, members of my committee are very enthusiastic about making changes. And
As are
so-
the members of the landfill subcommittee. And I think bringing new people to both sides, I think, will really help.
Yeah. I'm so delighted because I have a spot in my garage where I have an old VCR that is defunct. And I'm trying to figure out, how do I recycle this? I mean, what do I do with this? And I don't put it out in my trash.
The Smithsonian might like it.
I could box it up. Maybe the recycling committee would help me out. That was a very good comment.
Yeah, could we?
I think the highway superintendent had something.
Yes, thank you. You somewhat,
Both from the landfill subcommittee and the highway department, we really fully support this idea. It's been in my mind for weeks now, and it's coming apparent, because Steve does come to a lot of our meetings with the landfill, and you could see that we have the same goals, and a bigger team, I think, would help out a lot.
okay, thank you
Before
very
go-
much.
Before you go, sir, Mr. Bellucci, you don't think that combining the two will diminish the importance of each of the two committees? I think recycling is very important, and if it were alone, it would stand out more than if it got buried in the landfill
Landfill side.
subcommittee. In addition to that, the landfill subcommittee, they're watching for pollution. We have that, I forget the name of the engineering company that conducts
PAR,
testing at the
yeah.
well.
PAR
Yeah,
engineering,
PAR. And that has nothing to do with recycling. Would that be diminished by combining the two?
I think recycling is growing faster than the actual rubbish that goes in the landfill. I know that the Resource Recovery just raised the independent goals for each town, although we really aren't in their program because we have a landfill, from 25 to 30%. So the pressure is on. I mean, their landfill doesn't have an infinite life. Ours certainly doesn't. So statewide, we really got to look at what are we going to do 7 or 8 years down the line when there's no landfills in Rhode Island either. I mean, this is a big issue. So to force recycling, I mean, I've developed a plan that's almost done that I was going to send to our landfill committee. Obviously, they have thoughts and plans on their mind, so I think we should get together before, and, we can submit one plan with recommendations, to you all for review. But I think it's a good idea.
And Hannibal, I'm not looking to have this thing joined together forever if that's not going to be good for both committees. I think right now, for next year or so, you might want to have both committees get together. And if it is apparent that recycling needs to be split off in the future, that can happen. But rather than redoubling efforts here, I thought this might make a little more sense.
If it'll foster recommendations for policy establishment or policy change, I'm all for it, too. if there's no conflict, and either none of you see any, so I'd be in favor of the motion.
I think it's important to combine the two. We also have a copy of correspondence from, that Representative Laughlin sent to Resource Recovery, telling them that, seeing we're one of the top recyclers in the state, that maybe we should be able to participate with some of the grant programs and stuff they have out there, because we don't get recognized because we operate our own facility, and I'm
Actually
waiting
comes
to...
up as an issue I have a little later on.
I'm waiting to hear, some response from them on this, because this is an important factor, because it would help us, further our goals of recycling. But to combine them two now is a great idea and a great move, and I don't think it's going to diminish from either one, because the goals of one can help us extend the life of the landfill, and therefore that's imperative that they work together until we get that accomplished, to extend that life for as many years as we can.
And I pass in the course of the day too many people who are not recycling at all. So that's something that I hope we get some proposals on. So we'll have a motion and then get a proposal to us. Maybe Mr. Rice could put something together.
That'd be great.
Motion, Mr.?
I'd make a motion that we combine, at least for the interim, the landfill subcommittee and the recycling committee.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand, please. Motion carries. Moving on to Town Administrator.
I do have a few announcements. The first one is the retirement of Sergeant Richard Ruist as of August the 31st. He will be retiring from the police department and moving into the police department in Portsmouth. The Tiverton firefighters will be supporting the muscular dystrophy Fill the Boot drive at 3 intersections in town, and that will be on the weekend of August 22nd, 3rd, and 4th. The third announcement I have is that the Government Health Group, the people who administer our health insurance, have completed a reconciliation from July through March, and we should be receiving a credit on one of our upcoming invoices of $7,993. The flags, as you are well aware, are at half-mast and will remain that way until August the 31st in honor of Gerald Ledoux. And the last announcement I have is I'm going to be formulating a report to the council that will include various town statistics and information as to what is going on in the town in the way of a town administrator's report. That's all I have.
Great, thank you.
Council announcements, comments, or questions?
I have just two really quick ones. The administrator gave me a copy of what Rhode Island Resource Recovery is proposing for an agreement between the Rhode Island Resource Recovery and the town of Tiverton. I made copies for everybody. I don't expect any action on it tonight, but I'd like to discuss this on our upcoming council meeting. You'll note on item 2, disposal of solid waste. This agreement really doesn't even pertain to the town of Tiverton because they're expecting us to deliver 100% of our solid waste to them. We have our own landfill. It doesn't recognize that. And then again on item 7, they expect us to deliver all of our recycling for processing. We are currently doing that. We are also in discussions with Patriot Disposal to see if they might want to handle it separately for us, and we'll take the cash for it ourselves.
Okay.
But this agreement has to be signed by the town by, I believe, the end of November this year. And it covers this current fiscal year. It started supposedly July 1st, 2008.
Is there some effort or going to be to just reword this so that it does reflect our different status because of our landfill?
Well, I was going to leave that to the administrator as something I want, as a council,
Yeah, no, I
to
just-
discuss. But this way, I gave copies of it now,
Yeah, we
so
could
everyone
sign
can
it
take a
this
look
morning.
at it.
Right.
I think I read something, a statement that Mr. Bellucci made about the fact that we might want to take a stab at handling recycles ourselves. It'll be more profitable rather than have Patriot do it. Did I read something like that, Mr. Bellucci?
Actually, to bring you real up-to-date from late this afternoon, I was in touch with Resource Recovery, trying to develop a comprehensive plan, and found out that, explain the problems we're having. We don't have we don't deliver landfill materials there. And what's been told to me is we do not have to enter into any contract. There's no law that says we have to enter into any contract. So I was just bouncing it off those people. It really looks like we shouldn't, based on their phone call, because there's no advantages and all disadvantages in the wording there. So if you'd give us a chance maybe to look at it a little more, and with a comprehensive kind of report, come up something, but I would hopefully delay this till, we can meet with Jay and the landfill committee and now the recycling committee. But that just that's hot off the press from late this afternoon.
We didn't enter into an agreement with them before.
I have no idea. We got this agreement to renew what we currently have with the landfill.
We had a signed agreement with them before.
Yeah.
We did have an agreement.
And it expired
Same
June
language.
30th.
Same language.
Also, we used to receive some kind of a refund for the recyclables that we sent over. You recall it when you were treasurer? Getting a check for recyclables?
Well, wasn't there a question because they couldn't measure what we were sent, because we never, everything was done by the tipping fees, and
I
they
think we-
couldn't figure out because we never sent them anything.
My best recollection is we got started with the recycling because they were paying for, Resource Recovery was paying for the program for the first couple of years to get you started. And then as that monies ran out, when we picked it up, they get the goods.
Which brings me to my second item. On September 18th, between the hours of 8:30 and 10 a.m. at Rhode Island Resource Recovery, they have a recycling plan workshop where they will work with different towns so they can develop their own plans. So if someone from the town wants to go, that was included in the package, Jim. We may want to have someone from the recycling committee or someone from the town DPW or administration go up and see what's going on. That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you. Town solicitor, do you have anything that, for the public session?
Well, yes and no. What I have publicly is actually, when we get to the closed executive session, I just need to add an item to the way it's put there. We've got item 2 under 44-46-5A5, possible disposition of town-held property. There's actually 2 components there. That should be possible disposition of town-held property and acquisition of real property. They're both under that subsection, and I would like that added to the agenda as part of 5-2.
Okay, I will add a motion that 5-2, that there be an additional language that
I'll take care of it.
you take care of it, good.
That's what he does best.
That's right. No, this is what he does best.
Moving on to our executive session items, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to enter executive session under 42-46-5A2 litigation.
Second?
All those in favor of that motion?
And to remain in executive session under 42-46-5A5, possible disposition of town-held property.
Second?
And further, to remain in executive session under 42-46-5A5 for possible acquisition of real property.
Second?
All those in favor of that motion, raise your right hand. Excellent. We are in executive session.